Before we start, I would like every single teacher, coach, who taught for the Chidon HaTanakh this year to please stand. This wouldn't be a program without you. Thank you. To the volunteers in this room, if you volunteered today, it is an army of volunteers. If you were a volunteer today, please stand. You deserve a round of applause as well. Thank you. I would like to dedicate my next 2 minutes of remarks to the following people, all of whom I feel connected to and have lost their lives al Kiddush Hashem since October 7th. Ari Zemelman, Amitai Granot, Shai Pazi, Amit Ziv, Yehonatan Lober, Na'aran Eschar, Yakir Hechzer David Schwartz, Zecharia Haber, Yossi Hershkovitz, Daniel Perez, Eden Nimri, and Gilad Boim. Yehi Zichram Baruch. You know, I can't help but feel that when the Torah says the words, Ad Hayom Hazeh, it really was thinking of this moment. Because the Torah truly is eternal. And I'll tell you how the Torah becomes eternal. I know, looking out at this room, because you see, over the course of this year running the Chidon HaTanakh, I've truly felt that the following phrase is true. Those who learn Torah like you do become a part of the story of the Torah. I'm going to say that again. Those who learn the Torah at the level that you do become a part of the story. I really feel that that is the key behind what it means to be an Am HaNetzach. The final midrash in the Chavruta learning, which perhaps some of you got to, on the words V'chi yamuch achicha, it's not necessarily true that those people had to be called your brother, your family, but when you learn Torah, it becomes so clear that to be a Jew is to be part of one giant family. And that Midrash goes on to say that if Reuven had known that the Torah would write about him, he would have jumped back to save Yosef. If Boaz had known that in Sefer Ruth they would write about him, he would have been even more mizarez, even more quick. And then the Midrash goes on to say the following, and what about us? What about us? Says Eliyahu Hanavi himself is writing down every one of our actions. Take a moment to think about what that means. In a way, what that Midrash is saying is that even though the 24 prakim, the 24 books of Tanakh are done, being written, even though the 929 prakim have come to a close, the book may be closed, but the story is still going on. If you don't feel that this year more than any other, that we are living in biblical times, you think back to Erev Pesach, the weeks before Pesach, a real Yetziat Mitzrayim level miracle. If you feel Ad Hayom Hazeh, it is truly, truly happening in this moment. The Sipur of the Torah is still unfolding before us, and I know it and I see it when I look out at this room. So thank you. Thank you for bringing to life the lines of Dr. Moshe Avital, whose books each of you have received over the past 3 years. He was director of the Chidon back in the 1970s, and he would say that every time he walked into the room for the Chidon HaTanakh, a Holocaust survivor, he would say he felt Misho'ah litkuma. Misho'ah litkuma. It's for that reason that actually everyone invited up onto the table today will actually receive some of his works specifically on the following. Let me show you. It's called And Then There Was Courage. The book is about people who never wrote memoirs for themselves, but who he thought needed to have their stories told. The Torah hasn't yet been written on October 7th, but in some ways I feel like this is just one more link in the chain. It gives us great privilege and pleasure to be able to hand this out, but even more so, it gives me great pleasure to see the people in this room who give me confidence that the story of the Jewish people will go on.